It's like two women figuring out where they fit, whether it's their own sexuality, someone else's sexuality, judgment, pain, heartbreak,
overcoming trauma,
Yeah.
like existing as like this liberated person.
This podcast is a Dear Media production.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Welcome back to another episode of Girls Gotta Eat.
Welcome back. Very
You know what today
demure episode today.
Oh, I was like, wait, what?
What were you going to say?
I was going to say today starts my summer tradition of being in Europe for like 3 weeks. I'm going to be on an insufferability level of like 10. And I really have had to have some self-talk with myself about how much I'm posting. I was really good in the fall when I went to Europe, and I'm going to try to reel it in.
Okay.
Relatively.
Mute Raina, everybody.
I'm going to be really insufferable, but I'm really excited. I'm starting in London. I get to spend the night with my nephew, and I'm so excited to see him. And then we are going to Greece.
We're going to Greece. This was last minute for me. I just realized that when the final friend joined this trip, I felt like I got punched in the face. Like when you guys were on the group chat and I found out Jackie was going, I was like, I have to go. Because I didn't really plan a big vacation this year. I'm getting married. I'm on tour. Like I'm gone every weekend now really through the summer and all kinds of different things and bachelorettes and all the things. I was like, I don't need to do it. And then I just got too much FOMO.
I didn't want to tell you that Jackie had signed up for the trip. Also, because you never know if Jackie's going to come on a trip.
That's true.
She's my friend that will tell you she is on her way to the airport. And I'm like, I don't trust it. Text me a selfie from the plane.
So today, if on the 30th, if that's when you're listening, we are leaving for Greece. I'm leaving for Greece. You're just leaving a few hours before me. We're just on different flights. Mm-hmm. You're just stopping in London and you're going to meet you. I'll meet you there.
Yeah, I'll meet you there.
So we'll be there this week. Follow along.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I cannot wait to be on a boat in Greece on July 4th and write America Who and see if the DMs come in.
What are the odds?
I cannot wait to be on this boat with my big fupa twat, my
your
long
vagina.
vagina. It's big fupa twat summer, y'all. It's trash horse bitch summer. We're going to milk it.
We're going to film some content.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited. We're going back to Mykonos and we're going to go to Santorini. It'll be my first time in Santorini and Paros and Naos. So I'm just really excited.
But anyway, as I was saying, crazy episode today. Strap in, not safe for work. Maybe work. We'll be talking
Depends
about
on
what
you
people
do
are trying to be
for
doing at work. Yeah. But we have Mandii and Weezy, and it's so much fun. And so we are excited for you guys to listen to it, but we'll talk about our partners, and then we will get into it.
Yeah, thanks to Wix. Go to Wix.com and start building your website. And Built, get points by paying rent at joinbuilt.com/GGE. And Quince, get free shipping and 365-day returns on your next order at quince.com/GGE.
And thank you to Simply Pop. Go to cokeurl.com/simplypop to find out where you can try Simply Pop. And Nutrafol, get $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you subscribe at Nutrafol.com with code GGE10. And thank you to Hungry Root. Get 40% off your first box plus a free item in every box for life at hungryroot.com/GGE with code GGE. So we have been dealing with some trauma over here.
I did not know how to participate. I didn't know what to say.
So Azul is at the vet as we speak, and he went in for a dental cleaning, which dental cleanings are anesthesia. At least they should be, according to my vet. Some people are doing them non-aesthetic. We don't believe in that, but it's your pet. And Dr. Lisa Littman has talked about why you shouldn't do that. What bottom line is, it's a whole thing. He's there all day. He's under anesthesia. He gets his teeth cleaned. And I was just worried they were going to tell me he needed to get some teeth pulled. And if you know Azul, you know he's a very specific look. And when I rescued him, he had some really damaged teeth. They had to pull one. It was just really like rotted. And then they had to pull another one from the front. And so you're supposed to have these little 6 incisors across the front, and his stick out. He has this underbite, and they stick out of his like black gums, and he has like a black tongue. And so he is missing 2. So he's only had 4, and they're like talking about needing to pull them. I feel so sad. And just for reasons that you need to get teeth pulled, like they're not healthy and they could be causing him some discomfort. He doesn't express any of that to me. He seems really happy, and, he has no trouble eating and having treats and whatever, picking stuff up with his teeth. And there are some other ones they want to pull. And so it was a tough phone call to get. And, you know, it's difficult because I had a feeling it was coming. So I was like waiting by the phone, and he's under anesthesia. So you have to like kind of make the call quickly. You know, like I go in there, I just want a cleaning and, you know, x-rays and a checkup. And then knowing that they might be like, we have to pull a bunch of teeth, and they call you and it's so expensive. And I want to do what's right for him. But I was just like, I feel not ready to do this today. Like I feel not ready to make this decision to pull 10 teeth, including the whole front of his mouth.
Oh, it's crazy.
His whole look.
When they said 10 teeth, I was like, I can't make eye contact with her right now. I don't know what to say.
And anyone who wants to give me like medical advice, I have a vet. I'm going to hear it from the people in my circle. So it's just like, of course, people always want to weigh in when it comes to medical stuff, but I'm going to talk to Dr. Lisa and figure out what's best for me and what's best for him. And obviously I don't want him to be unhealthy or in any discomfort in any way. Like I'm not going to keep his teeth just for aesthetic reasons. But I was just like, I'm not ready to I have to talk to Dr. Lisa. She wasn't available. Like this is a lot to make this decision. I might want to see a dental specialist. Like it's a crazy thing.
I also couldn't believe how quickly I was like, when do you have to make this decision? You were like, right.
Now?
They called you back 15 minutes later.
Well, it's one of those things. They put him under, and then they do the things, and then they have to know if you're okay with it. And they call you, and they're like, all these extractions, here's the price. And you're like, whiplash. And so, I mean, some people would be like, yeah, do it. I trust you, and I do trust my vet. But he does this, but he's not a dental specialist. I want to talk to, I don't have to like justify my decision, but I was like, we just need to wait a beat.
That is a huge overhaul. His whole mouth. I would need a minute to digest
Yes,
this.
like
I don't trust medical professionals. Well, some of them. But.
Yeah, like it's not even that. I was just like, this is a lot. He did some other stuff in there that he wanted to take care of. And again, it wasn't like this is an emergency, because if it was, then we would have done it. But I was like, I just need to make this decision. I need to have one more photo shoot. Like that's his whole brand.
You got to talk to him about it. That he's going to look different. You got to have a discussion.
Like, something that defines your whole look. It's going to be gone. Like I
my
could
boobs.
cry.
They're so small now, and I needed months, years to process this. So I understand it. It's like a huge body change.
So I just feel like it's a hard thing to deal with, and I just need to figure out what to do, and I'll do what's right for him.
I would need more than 15 minutes with a medical decision like that.
It was 5 minutes. Like it's literally like, hey, he's under.
Crazy. Yeah.
Let us know.
We're going to charge $4,000 to your card.
Thousands of dollars. No, it's crazy. On top of like what I'm dealing with my teeth, and I don't want to get into that, but like,
well, at first he threw out the number 900 something. And I was like, okay, that's kind of a lot, but like I guess. And then he was like, oh no, it's like $4,000.
Yeah, it's so much money. Like the dental in general, I mean, because it's X-rays, it's anesthesia, it's whatever. And I don't go to like a dirt cheap place, you know. So I don't know. It's just like I cannot believe what we're dealing with in my family with teeth. Like my gum graft, I don't want to get into it. It was partially successful. I'm supposed to get 2 wisdom teeth pulled. I'm supposed to have more gum grafting. I've had to have cavities filled this year. Like what is happening?
I think it's cute.
We're going through it together.
Yeah, I think it's adorable.
My poor fiance. He's like, I'm surrounded by these fucked up mouths.
Yeah. You're like, you need to accept me and my family. Like mother, like son.
So stay tuned, and we'll let you guys know. We know you guys love Azul, and if it's just going to be like his whole face changes, like we'll do a goodbye and we'll do a whole thing. That's what's going to happen.
Let's sell merch with his old face.
R.I.P.
His old face.
Teeth. Yeah, his old face. No. So that's what I'm dealing with.
Well, you keep it for
Please
the wedding.
respect my privacy this time. Please respect Azul's privacy this time.
Little cutie.
Okay. Gen Z wants to have sex at the office.
Who doesn't? Who hasn't? If you haven't gotten fingered in your office, you are not living, okay? That shit was so fun.
What?
Yeah, I worked in restaurants, dude. You do
in the restaurant.
crazy stuff.
You're in the walk-in.
I have done crazy stuff at the restaurants I worked at. Like when I think about I gave blowjobs like on camera. Like I was running the tape on like, so I moved to New York City in 2008 with a marketing and advertising degree. And it was the week that the market crashed in the fall and nobody would hire me. So I started working in restaurants, and I was either the manager fucking a staff member or a staff member fucking the manager at all 3 restaurants I worked at back to back to back. And
yeah.
I really I like getting it in at work. It's fun.
Like, what else are you doing?
Nothing.
You know, like not to degrade restaurant jobs. Obviously, I've worked in restaurants. You've worked in restaurants, but it's not the office to me. Like I'm saying, like I'm really. This is not what we're talking about. We're talking about people working at Salesforce want to have a cubicle. Like they want to have a like nursing room to fuck in.
Can I tell you what I did? Can I just run you through this?
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Okay.
So my first job in New York City, I worked at this restaurant called Fish Tail. I worked for David Burke. I was dating one of the waiters. I jerked him off in a coat closet
Amazing.
in the middle of service.
Oh, like in the coat check.
In the coat check room. In the middle of service.
Sorry, whose ever coat got cummed on. Raina, someone's got cum on their
I even
coat.
finished the job. I think I did a half of it.
If you gave me back my cum-covered coat and still were like, that'll be $10, I'd be like, absolutely not.
That's why I didn't finish it.
I'm doing a chargeback on my credit card.
Yeah, I did it out of respect for the patrons. I did not finish jerking him off. And then I was dating the manager, and everybody, we'd like shut down for the night where everyone was like cleaned up. And I gave him a blowjob in the middle of the dining room, like on camera, just on my knees in the dining room.
You're a real slut.
I was such a
Like
slut.
a real restaurant slut.
That really was. And like, that's just the tip of the iceberg.
And that's when you got promoted.
The next restaurant I worked at, I was sleeping with one of the bartenders, and like after work, I like shut down the restaurant, and there was cameras everywhere, so you couldn't really fuck there. But I knew there was like one spot in the office where you like could kind of not be on a camera, but I was like, I can't risk it. So him and I went to a bar, and then I was like, do you know what would be fun? We should go back to the restaurant and have sex.
Totally.
And I went back to the restaurant at 2:00 in the morning with him and had sex in my office.
Oh my God.
And then
Not the office.
And then where I met my fiance was the next restaurant I worked at.
Perfect. When you hired him.
I didn't hire him.
Okay.
Not my hire.
Oh. I thought he was.
No, he was just like
Not as hot.
He was, it was not my hire. I was like 6 weeks into the job, and I remember talking to Melanie and being like, I'm going to fuck this waiter at my dream job. Like, I might lose my job for this kid. I've been here for 6 weeks. So we fucked off campus, but the next day at work, he fingered me in my office, like during service.
Oh my God, this is like baby girl.
Yes, exactly. So anyway, all that to say, we'll get back to this article. But
I love it. Let's just do this.
Yeah, all that
you were supposed to be cutting limes and you were getting fingered.
I was really getting sexy in the workplace. But listen, it was just like we all drank all the time and just like did drugs and
It was a different time.
It was a different time. It was so social. Was that it? I mean, in college, I always fucked people that I worked with in the restaurants.
I don't know that I never fucked anyone at the restaurant. I most of the time had like a restaurant crush. I mean, I remember when I worked at Lone Star, I had here's what was like would happen twice to me was that my restaurant crush started dating someone else at the restaurant. That is heartbreaking. Oh. So my one restaurant crush when I worked at Lone Star started dating this girl there, but it's okay because like shortly thereafter, that's when Justin from Fridays came in and I started dating the guy that worked at Fridays. I do this in my stand-up. It's a whole thing. So he came in, he was sitting at the bar and I called dibs because he was so hot and like Corey and I both had our eyes on him. I was like, he's mine. So and then that kind of softened the blow. But my other crush at a restaurant I worked at in Rehoboth, I remember early days when we were first started training at the very beginning of the summer, I had such a crush on him and he started dating this other girl. She had these giant tits. I like could not compete, but she was like 25. I was like, ew.
How old were you?
Like 19.
Oh, she was so old.
She was old.
Ew,
yes.
like an old lady.
I was like, she's 25?
Have fun fucking that old mom.
But then, Raina, like I still had such a crush on him. And then I heard they fucked at the restaurant.
Oh, no.
Like when I heard that I was like, they fucked in here. I have to be around it.
Oh, no.
And then when I worked at the Rudder, I mean, I was just like the D-list. No one to fuck me. I couldn't even carry the cocktail tray. Like Laura was running around. Her and her boyfriend were like the power couple of the Rudder, and no one wanted to fuck me. But the girl guys were hot, and like we would flirt with the girl guys a lot.
I really I didn't get back in the kitchen as much. I only fucked the chef.
I always had a dream of fucking in the walk-in on a hot day.
Someone's gonna open that door.
Totally.
And it opens too wide. There's nowhere to hide. You're just in a room and there's nowhere to hide. And yes,
There's
I've thought about this.
vegetables around you.
Yes. It's
meats.
Yes. And it's just like when the door opens, there's no like, oops, like I wasn't doing this. I only dated this chef at a restaurant in college. I fucked him at work. When I worked at the Cheesecake Factory, I was fucking the manager and another one of the waiters. I was cheating on them with each other.
Just you all were wearing all white. Just running around, cum everywhere.
I was just giving people hard-ons in white pants.
This is so crazy. I mean, the famous quote from Raina is that her mom wanted her to get an internship during the summer. And she was like, all I want to do is suck dick and work at the Cheesecake Factory. That's what you did.
That is what I did. I mean, wow. I really got it in at work. And then I had corporate jobs at Groupon and then Amazon.
And you still did?
No, I fucked off campus for those ones. At Groupon, I think I only slept with one guy because I really liked him. My friend slept with him, and then I slept with him. It was a really bad situation.
Yeah.
And then Amazon, I did not sleep with anybody.
Okay.
I ended my streak at Amazon.
I wish you would have. I wish you could out it now.
Damn it. No, it was
Jeff.
It was. I jerked off Jeff. Jerked off Jeff.
Yeah. You're going to pay off for that.
That's how you know I really didn't enjoy the job. I wasn't even fucking on the job.
Yeah, we did a episode so many years ago. You guys would have to search it about fucking your coworkers. So you guys can listen back if this conversation is intriguing to you. I never really had the opportunity. I mean, I worked at like a magazine. It was like girls and gays and like PR. And then I went on my own. And so I don't know. I'm trying to think, have I ever fucked anybody like we've hired as a contractor? You usually do that too.
I usually do that.
I don't think I've ever done it.
You know, I was trying to fuck my contractor in the fall.
Also, you're a contractor.
And people that work for us.
Exactly. This is your whole brand.
It is my whole brand. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Did you ever just realize who you were? Well, honestly, in restaurants, it felt like the stakes were just lower.
Yeah.
I mean, we were just all getting drunk. Everybody slept with each other. Like,
Oh my
this
God.
was like before there was any like standards in the workplace. Like,
Yeah.
it just felt like that's what everybody was doing. We're all out late at night together, getting drunk, hooking up.
I mean, this is a stupid question, but are restaurants trying to say you can't fuck your coworkers? No.
Yeah,
Are
it depends on how
Well,
corporate
a power
it is.
dynamic, I guess. But like, can servers fuck each other? Who cares?
A lot of workplaces say we don't encourage inner workplace like relationships, but like when I worked for Danny Meyer, who owns Shake Shack, and I started Union Square with him, I mean, half of the staff was married to other members of the staff that they had met at work.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where you meet people, and like there was nothing more attractive to me than watching somebody just absolutely kill it at their job.
Yeah, and this isn't even like when I say servers should be allowed to fuck each other at work, I mean it in the same way that two people that work at Apple should be able to fuck. But when it comes to power dynamics, totally different. But like people on the same level, like I don't understand why. What is the rule? Why two people at Apple can't fuck?
It just creates messiness because then they break up and then like somebody's
be an
dating another
adult.
person and like that's it. But I mean, people have free will. You can't
Be-
tell people what
be
to do
an
with their
adult.
bodies. Yeah,
Yeah.
like be an adult.
Yeah.
Power dynamics, sure. When I started sleeping with my then fiance, he was a waiter. I was the manager. I did not make his schedule, but I told my boss 3 weeks in.
Okay.
I was terrified because all I wanted to do was work for Danny Meyer. It was my lifelong dream.
Yeah.
I like read his books. I was like, that's the GOAT. That's who I want to work for. And I was so horny. I had to fuck this waiter 6 weeks into the job.
Well, that's the thing with this article that Gen Z wants to fuck at work. Like, how horny are they? They want like places to fuck at work. And this is not everybody, and this could just kind of be clickbait, but basically the headline
There's
is
nuance and context.
yes, 38% of Gen Zers want private spaces at work to hook up because work-life balance.
So basically, this is like a little out of context, the headline, but you know, Gen Z is the first generation that went through the pandemic and then has entered the workplace at a time where you don't have to go to your office. So they've said that it's improved their sex lives, being at home all day. They could like have sex in the middle of the afternoon or like wake up and fuck in the morning and just like have a groggy morning. And like now they're like, you can't make me go back to work. My life is good at home. I can masturbate or get fucked in the middle of the day. And if you expect me to be here, you need to provide safe spaces for me.
So also, this could be one of those like bullshit surveys. Only 2,000 people were interviewed, whatever.
Right.
But yes, like what Raina said, they said that remote work improved their sex life and they're not willing to sacrifice it. But it's just like, I don't know. Like, I think two people working from home, nothing is less sexy if that's what's going on.
And your
If
man's work voice.
Yeah, if you hear a Zoom voice, like someone were to return to the office, I think you'd have a sexier relationship. Someone's at work during the day, they come home, whatever. But it says 38% of Gen Z admit they wish their workplace had a private space, like an on-call room for hookups or self-love, which I love that. Because like if you're stressed, you should be able to masturbate at work
I don't think
privately. You don't think?
room for self-love.
No, like
hilarious.
I don't know, like go in your car. Like you should
Go in your car to masturbate.
you should be able to masturbate at work.
That feels so predatory to me, but
But when I talk about masturbating at work, like I'm not picturing guys doing it, and that is weird and gross.
like that's predatory. Meanwhile, like I was in my office in the middle of service letting a waiter hike my
Yeah.
pencil skirt up and bend
Totally.
me over a desk.
Yes. So Raina, let's not forget she said she gave a blowjob and made sure to tell you guys it was on camera twice.
I mean, there was definitely security cams. Someone jerked off to that.
Yeah.
That was my boyfriend. Does that make it better?
Yeah, it's at least you were in a relationship. So yeah, we just thought this was like a funny thing, and it's a headline that's been making the rounds this week. But I mean, if you're like, I'm not gonna work somewhere unless you have a room I can fuck in, you might have a sex addiction. You might have like if you can't get through the workday without fucking, and also like, what about a lunch break? Like, I mean, it's just. you're really horny and like you're fine without this.
I can get through the day.
Yeah,
And if it was my salary versus just being able to fuck whenever I wanted, I'm picking salary. I'm going salary. I do find it interesting. They talk about it in the article a little bit. This concept of like what working from home just has done to people's sex lives in general, in terms of like how many people meet people at work or at happy hours after work, and like there is just a diminished ability to just meet people in the world. So you're kind of left, for single people, you are left with dating apps, and that's that.
Yeah, it says 29% of people felt that returning to the office might actually improve their sex life. You'd think it would be higher if people actually thought about it, because meeting people on the job could offer more opportunities for intimacy or even the prospect of an office romance. I mean, we've talked about this with multiple guests too. I mean, even Scott Galloway, how many people do meet at work or at something work related that totally went away with the pandemic and people working from home.
And I also think you just feel better about yourself when you like take a shower in the morning, put on an outfit, go somewhere. Like I feel depressed when I've sat at the house all day.
I know.
You and I've been talking about this all the time. Like I will put on an outfit and walk to a restaurant to work because I'm depressed.
It's really, I mean, I would choose it, obviously. I don't want to complain. You know, I love having my freedom and we run our own businesses. And so I would certainly choose it over having to go to an office every day. But like when we're home all day, like I got to get out.
Yeah, I feel depressed. So.
But listen, you know, you guys do you. You guys want to fuck at work?
Clearly, I support fucking at work. I didn't plan that at all, by the way. That just came rushing back to me. I have immediate recall.
Of course.
I've had a lot of sex at work.
Best moments of your life.
It really, I mean, nothing makes going to work better than knowing that like someone's going to flirt with you.
Oh my God, a work crush? Nothing gets you out of bed in the morning.
No. And then my first like corporate job at Groupon, I had like a crush on one of the managers at the other office in like a different city. We would sext during meetings.
I was talking about this. I would be having G-chat sex.
Yes.
Like I was on my Gmail, but still I was on the work desktop. Like when I was in my PR job, I was on the work desktop, had my Gmail open in the G-chat. We used to G-chat all day. I'd have like 10 tabs open, chatting with all my friends and with the guy I was dating at the time, like dirty time in G-chat sex.
On the
dirty.
on the company G-chat, like my at Groupon email address.
Oh, that is crazy. I was at least on my personal.
Nope,
but I'm
not
still
us.
on the work computer. People are still walking by, and I'm just like, oh, I can't wait to feel your big hard dick inside of me. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Like, what were we doing?
I don't know the stuff that. I met Melanie at my job where I jerked the guy off in the coat check.
Yeah.
And then I went to work with her in a corporate environment at Groupon, and she sends me emails every once in a while. The stuff that I would write. I wrote crazy things. I wrote stuff like, I'll fucking kill every person we work with. Like, I put that in a professional work email.
Yeah, it used to be different times.
You could fire me in an instant. I'm G-chat sex in the middle of a meeting.
So crazy. All right, well, let's talk about our partners, and we will get into it with Mandii and Weezy.
Let's talk about work. Let's talk about building a business.
Yes.
So I think that a lot of people, when they're starting a business, they're like, how do I make myself look professional? Obviously, it's a website, but that can be very, very daunting if you've never built a website. And I remember the first time I built one, and I was just like, this seems like the hardest task I could ever possibly deal with. So if you are thinking of doing it, I cannot recommend turning to Wix enough. They put incredible website creation at your fingertips. They have an AI site builder, so you answer a few questions and get a personalized business-ready site fast. So if you don't want to do it, just like piecemeal it to yourself, that makes it the quickest and easiest. If you prefer a template, they offer 2,000 designer-made templates that are fully customizable and come with out-of-box business functionality. I mean, the hardest thing when you start these platforms, so the first website I built was not on Wix, and I was just like, they're so not user-friendly a lot of the time, and it's not easy to manipulate certain things you want to move around, and Wix is the simplest I've ever seen.
So easy.
And if you're looking to sell products or services, schedule appointments, Wix.com has you covered with built-in solutions. There's no add-ons required, and Wix has been pioneering in website tech for almost 20 years now. I still remember they had this like workspace in New York I used to go to where they like facilitated it for creators, and I was just like, this is the best platform, and it is just built to make it as easy and functional and just drag and drop as possible. And now they have all these AI image studio solutions and tons of amazing design effects. So if you guys are ready to create your own website, go to Wix.com. That's Wix.com to start building your website today. And thanks to Wix for supporting our show.
Okay, Quince. So we were talking about this trip we're taking. If you guys are going anywhere this summer, even just you're going down the street, you taking a vacation across town,
Brian
staycation.
Kelly said vacation around you.
Domestically, yeah, whatever you guys are doing, you might want to get some new clothes to be excited about. And we just love Quince so much. So they have incredible prices on things like 100% European linen, shorts and dresses. They're silk, I'm obsessed with. They have luxe swimwear. You guys can check them out for swimwear. Great sandals, Italian leather sandals, bags. I'm obsessed with this like crossbody woven leather bag that I have, and everything with Quince is half the cost of similar brands. So I'm just on their site now. This yellow dress, Raina, look at this. This washable stretch silk high neck midi dress. It reminds me of the dress in How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. So like you can just get into their silk dresses, this set, search by yellow. I'm obsessed with their yellow, such like the color of the season. I really love their silk. I have a bunch of the silk dresses and I have a skirt and I just throw it in the wash on gentle. I hang dry it. It's super easy. They have great shoes. They have great jewelry. We just love it so, so much. And they only work with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. Everything is super, super high quality. But again, at half the price of probably what you're used to. So you guys can give your summer closet an upgrade with Quince. Go to quince.com/GGE for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/GGE to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/GGE. And I did have to return something recently and it was super easy and they were really great. Their customer service is responsive. Just a big fan all around.
Yes, absolutely. All right. And if rent is your biggest expense, student loans might be your second. Now Built lets you use one to help tackle the other. Earn points by paying rent and use them towards your student loan balance. Here's how. So Built is the rewards program for where you live. It's free to join. And by paying rent, you rack up flexible points that can be used towards some of your biggest expenses like rent, travel, student loan payments, and a lot more. When you pay rent through Built, you unlock two powerful benefits. You earn one of the industry's most valuable points on rent, up to 1 times Built point every month, no matter where you live or who your landlord is. And second, you gain access to exclusive neighborhood benefits in your city, which are things like extra points on dining out, complimentary items at Built partners, and unique experiences that only members can access. And now Built announced that you can redeem these points towards your student loan balance, offering you even more flexibility with how you can use your rewards. So if you're not earning points on rent, my question is, what are you waiting for? Start paying rent through Built and take advantage of the industry's most valuable points by going to joinbuilt.com/GGE. That's JOINBILT.com/GGE. Make sure to use our URL so that they know that we sent you. Join built.com/GGE to sign up for Built today.
Okay, let's get into it with our guests.
All right, guys, we are really excited to welcome back two amazing guests to the show. One of them, her successful production company, WTF Media, has grown to multiple occasions in the U.S. and around the world. You've seen Ashley and I record there many, many times.
Me.
Yeah, I need the money. You just started your own shit.
Her journey in growing businesses and sexual exploration landed her a TV show, Sex Cells, where you can catch her on screen, and at her newest venture, Trap House, a fitness studio in NYC. You guys are doing the most. And the other guest today, she hosts Period Sis, a podcast on reproductive health, and previously secured a 7-figure deal to See the Thing Is. She has hosted Revolt Summit, MTV's Date My Playlist, and owns Full Court Studios in Brooklyn. Together, they host Decisions, formerly Horrible Decisions podcast. Their tour is happening all summer long. We are so excited to feature their brand new book out now, No Holes Barred, a dual manifesto of sexual exploration and power. Please welcome to the show, Mandii and Weezy.
Hey.
Woo, I'm exhausted from that.
My nipples are a little hard.
Oh my God, do you need water?
No, they're not a little hard. They are rock solid. Okay. They almost poked my eye out, actually.
I remember
from
the
across
days
road.
where you were talking about getting implants on Girls Gonna Eat, and you would like to share your story. And I was like, oh my God, I wish I had my surgery while I was podcasting.
You have implants?
They're old. They're like 13
old
years
implants.
old.
I'm working on
So I
actually
can't-
scheduling my consultation to get mine. I want smaller. I want way smaller, like maybe a full B or a C cup, and then I want them just high and
Just
small
high,
and tiny.
but you'll get a reduction and
I
an
would
implant.
want a reduction and an implant,
I love
but
that
because
idea.
it's like I'm a skinny bitch now. Like these can't keep weighing me down. I need them to go, and then because I keep losing the weight, I do this thing when I'm bored where I'll pinch the skin and it stays. Like there's
before.
my
Oh,
titties
no.
are so like it's like skin that is just like what's going on.
Get it done.
It's like it's dehydrated titties over here.
We
I'm
do
just
weird
trying-
shit with our aging. I'll be looking at my knee. Like, what is my knee doing?
Oh, when you said we do weird shit, I was like, oh, tell me all the weird cosmetic stuff.
Oh, that we've had done?
Did you do PRP? I love that shit. I'm like,
I've done
tell me.
I haven't done no
that's
goddamn.
child's
What is
play.
that?
I do
You
none
talking
of
about
this
the
stuff, by
salmon
the way.
sperm
But
on
I
your
love-
face.
I've just heard about salmon sperm.
I can't do it. I can't.
Do you
go
remember
far.
that lady we saw that looked super young and we met her in Colorado and we're like, what do you do? She's like, PRP. And after that, I was like,
Is that blood?
yeah.
Okay, I'll do it.
Oh,
I'll
that's
do it.
that's the Kardashian.
And for hair,
that's
they
the
do
vampire
it.
one.
I've done that when they did the microneedling on my face. They take your blood out. They
They
spin
say
it
that's
in
the
a
best. That's it.
centrifuge.
Totally.
That's child's play for me. I've had everything done.
Ooh, what do you do?
I mean, everything on my face and body is fake, except for my boobs are real. I've had 2 breast reductions and a
Whoa.
reconstruction.
Oh,
They're real. Oh, you had a
reductions.
reduction.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I remember you talking about surgeries. Okay.
Yeah.
But implants, like they just start to look and feel better when they age.
Girl, they were not.
She just
this
says she
good.
Okay.
she's scared to have to get them redone if they
Because-
make her get them redone.
Because they get hard.
Oh,
Well,
the
they're
best
they're
compliment
13
is getting
years old.
fucked, and then like months later, they're like, "What? There's
Yeah, your friend has some of the best I've ever seen. I'm not going to say her by name, but
Yeah, they're great.
I saw her at the pool. I was like, those are the best tits I've ever seen. And you told me they were implants. I was like, but they've like fallen.
They're aging.
Yeah.
So
Aging
it's the
implants are
weight
great.
gain. You see, it's like right here. You know when you first get the boob and
First
you're
off,
like,
this is audio. No one's look, y'all. She's showing her whole tits.
No,
Sorry,
we're
you
on
can't
video.
do that.
Go to
Oh, wait.
YouTube.
Check
This
it
is
out.
Head to YouTube.
All right, girl.
Head to
Keep
YouTube
them
for those
monetized.
titties.
Jesus
no,
Christ.
I'm just saying. You know that fake tit when you're like right here.
Yeah.
So
Do you
now
guys
it's
show
just-
your titties at your live shows?
No, but
she done
Oh.
sucked milk out of a stranger's titty at a live show.
Oh.
You guys we had a woman spray her breast milk at one of our shows.
Why?
God, are we the white black
I
version?
literally said this was
Yes.
white people shit. I'm not just. I literally told her like, bro, you just drank somebody's breast milk that you don't know.
and that woman was
Crazy.
Afro-American.
I don't care what she was.
I do want to try breast milk one time.
You've never tried a friend's breast milk?
No, I don't.
I would be down.
I'm gonna ask my sister-in-law this summer.
She was
maybe.
like, oh my God, it's hot. Duh, bitch. It's
That's
on
the
a 98-degree body.
no, I
really
want it
shut-
right.
refrigerated. I want it straight. I want it out of the fridge.
On ice?
I want a little chill.
No, that's
the
not the
rocks?
kind you want. Like you want
What?
it to be.
I don't want room.
Did
temp.
you,
No, it's
were
hot.
you
That's the
on
crazy.
her tit?
Yes.
Like, did she breastfeed you?
Yes.
First of all,
You
Yes.
sucked it out?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, what city
In
was
front
this in?
of Atlanta,
Atlanta.
Georgia.
Ours was in New Haven, Connecticut.
Bro.
It couldn't get whiter.
front
to be
of
honest.
400
we went to the
people.
whitest place in America.
wait,
Literally.
we have a book signing in New Haven. I was like, is anyone gonna go?
No, those people are wild.
See, I'm like,
It's the
bitch, let's go.
college shit.
But they don't even, we were like, who here went to Yale? They were like, boo. Like, I don't know who came to our show in New Haven, but
We
they
don't
were
know.
wild. We did a talent show and this woman was like, I can squirt my titty milk out. She like splash zone the front row. We were like, this is insane.
No.
You know what's funny when you think people are coming to your show because you're the sexperts and you're the girl that talk about XYZ, and then someone outdoes it. Like, bitch, who the fuck do you think you are?
I think one night only we need to do a live show, all 4 of us.
Oh, no.
MSG,
Fuck
let's
yeah.
book it.
Oh
bitch,
my
come on,
God.
Emily. She said we're gonna skip Beacon Theater. We're gonna skip. Well, we
But the
already sold out
MSG
Town Hall.
room
So
for
you're right,
podcast.
I
MSG is
saw you
next.
guys are doing town hall. You guys have quite the tour this summer. And by the way, I do take my boobs out at every show.
People
So-
go crazy.
Oh, that's why your audiences are so big.
It's big.
You got to show your goddamn tits.
Yeah, you got to take your boobs out.
You know why?
our tickets
I
did
really
go up
am
this
kind of
year.
into
Yeah,
this idea
exactly.
though.
Sometimes we
Andrew
can't.
Schultz said the best live shows he's ever been to were girls got to eat in hours.
Aw.
Clip it. Okay, I need to get the truth on this. Are you guys friends?
No.
Is this a bit?
Yeah, like we're not sure. What do you
Okay,
mean,
she already
no?
said the answer. No, we're not.
But like,
But
not
we
in a way of
respect
like,
each other. We love this podcast. Is our
can I
babies.
define friend?
Yeah,
Mandy and I
wanna
don't
wanna hear
hang
about
out.
this. You don't hang out outside.
Ashley and I don't really hang out.
No, but
One-on-one, I complain to her all the
It's
time.
the
We don't
one-on-one,
spend an
yeah,
hour
you
one
guys
time
want to
together.
hang out.
She's lying. We have spent holidays together. We,
That's
yeah.
not one-on-one. We are together like 5 days a week, though.
Wait, why so much?
We have a lot of the same friend groups. We just
Yeah.
Oh, so you're friends? No.
Yeah.
we're
Y'all are-
we're
y'all are
actually
friends.
friends.
we're literally best friends.
Yeah.
What's happening here?
No, because sometimes I'm like, we
You
haven't
were
hung out.
we were like, what's going on?
I'm like, we haven't hung out. And she's like, I've seen you every day this week. And I'm like, not solo.
We
for
were
just
doing
a
work.
hang.
That doesn't count.
I'm not like Raina. Let's make a dinner res.
That's what I'm saying. We don't hang out one-on-one.
With Alex and I, when we started the studio, there were like days where we would go out and like get fucked up. And we'd be at some random, and it was during the pandemic we made the studio. So we'd be doing those underground parties somewhere in Soho. It's like 5 a.m. And he's like, no, but like, we need to talk about the business. No, we don't, nigga. We just got high.
and that's
like-
your friend.
But what? Yes, but that's the hard thing about friends and business.
Yeah.
And so where I feel like our relationship gets tough because, damn, this sounds bad, but okay.
I have thick skin.
You know when you have, it's like there's so much love you have with a friend, so you're softer.
Mhm.
I don't do that with Mandy, and she doesn't do it with me.
So
That's
I come off like a
interesting.
corporate bitch. Like
You get the work version.
But like-
oh, like it gets to the point. Sometimes
Why
where
would
it's
I
like,
hold her hand while I'm saying something that could potentially be hurtful. For example, let's just say we're trying to give each other feedback on something. It's different when you're friends in business because it's like you're dancing around it. We don't do that, which can make the arguments worse.
And then because it's so much business and sometimes we're not in a good place, send me an email. I don't like talking business over text message or group chats. So I move everything to email. I move everything to an Excel sheet. We're business.
So it's interesting how you guys wrote this book together. What? What did we say?
So you bitches are gonna fight right now.
You did that, bitch.
That was fun.
I'm gonna spin it.
No,
I'm gonna bring it around.
I think our fans need this clip. So, shit.
Hold on. Would you want to know the funny part about it?
Raina didn't even know she was doing anything.
What even makes that
still don't
funnier
know.
is when people do read the book. Oh, this is why their chapters are separate.
That's what I was gonna say. You guys wrote separate chapters.
But we had to.
You guys
though.
wrote this book and they
We
are
had to.
separate
We
chapters.
didn't share the same dick. We can't share the same story.
I don't think that's almost 30, another podcast. They're best friends through and through. They're like us. They did the same thing. I love the format.
Ah.
It like inspires the way that I think we should write a book. We're not going to share the same voice.
At all.
And we've talked about this for so that's what I was gonna say.
Okay.
You're
Back and
laughing
forth,
at me.
yeah.
Is
You did
Ashley and I
that.
really like the way you guys wrote this because also your backgrounds of sex and exploration
Our
and how you feel about
families,
yourself.
everything
Your
is
families
different.
are so different. And how weird would it be to not
You
have
couldn't
two
have.
distinct
We couldn't have.
voices?
I think the only thing we could have done that we toyed with in the beginning was like maybe someone's going back and forth in sections or like talking to each other.
She
But
wanted to do that so bad. I said no.
I did want to talk to each other in the chapters because now we're doing podcasts and there's so much commentary I could have around her chapters. And even reading them in editing, I'm like, oh, I would have loved to said something at the end or like talk about how I feel about it. There was just like a lot of empathic moments I had while reading them that I don't have on the podcast because it's so fun and chatty. So I think it could have been cool to see that. I would have loved that.
Next book. That's what you do for the next book.
Not she's being a cunt today.
I mean,
You guys are
see you
being
next
great.
Tuesday. For me, because I dug heavily into therapy for my chapters, I had conversations like even my abortion chapter. That writing this book made me have a conversation for the first time in 17 years with my mom about it.
Wow.
The girl who was working at Cold Stone and took her check literally the year her dad died to help me pay for my abortion. I had never knew how that decision that I made impacted either of them till 17 years later.
Yep.
So for me, where Weezy did introduce that as something she wanted to introduce, for me, there was so much that I already had to bear. The reader can take what they want, but I wanted nobody to put any chime in on how they felt about what I had dealt with my story. For me, I didn't want it, especially because, and back to the business thing, there's not that core friendship there to where I don't know if I would have been able to receive everything that maybe she would have said or felt like.
that's
And so for me, I
What was I
like,
supposed to say? You shouldn't have had an abortion, bitch.
no. But just for me, this was already so much of my heart and journey being poured into this book with real, like, I recorded my therapy sessions for a lot of these chapters just because I was like, oh, damn, I finally have to go back and talk about my childhood. I've been in therapy for 4 years. It wasn't until this goddamn book started writing that I even dug back into that. So for me, the idea of someone being able to input their thoughts on what I experienced in my life and my trauma, I was just like, I don't know if
I guess for me, the book wasn't so much trauma more than it was really fun and sexy. So I think about it in that way. Like there's some empathy, sure, that I can maybe talk about. I don't think there's much commentary for me on that, but like even the story about being electrocuted or like joining a couple, like Mandii joins a couple on the beach that she meets and is a unicorn, and then mine are all these curated threesomes. Like there's so much of a juxtaposition between the two of us that you even see on the podcast that the book makes really fun. Because all the elements of this sexual exploration kind of have the same end goal. It's like two women figuring out where they fit, whether it's their own sexuality, someone else's sexuality, judgment, pain, heartbreak,
overcoming trauma,
Yeah.
like existing as like this liberated person, or are you really, or is it a false sense of security? And you see a lot of that in the progression portion of the book. But yeah, I guess we both went to this book both kind of differently. I know Weezy was like, oh, sex, raunch. She wanted an erotica. And at the time of my life of us writing this book, I said, I want to bring my shame in here. I want to bring my trauma. I want to bring what I'm going through in therapy. And so we found a way to blend both of those. So yeah, you still see me at the sex dungeon.
Like
getting my pussy
erotica with
electrocuted.
self-help.
Well, you guys,
You
I want
know.
to take a moment for the book. The book is incredible. You
Thank
guys
you.
blended it perfectly.
Thank you.
And you give a trigger warning for the themes that you discuss.
Oh,
There
yeah.
is sexual assault and miscarriage and abortion. And then on top of it, it's so sexy and juicy. Like I was reading it like, should I be reading this about these? Like, I'm like,
That's why we made the cover to where you could be on the train, even though y'all are West Coast now.
Yeah.
Cover is
But you
great.
could be out, it could be at the airport, and it's not as alarming.
but it's so honest and raw. And you guys wrote it in the way that you speak, which I love. It's just fun to read. Like,
Yeah,
I'm like, oh,
it's a
she's
fun
talking
one.
to me. That's
I
how
love
it
that you said that.
feels.
I like hearing that too. And it's funny you said, should I be reading this? Because a really close friend of mine read it and she goes, oh my God, I have to stop. Like, I don't know.
About the period posted stuff.
Oh, not you calling her out. Oh,
No, but I'm saying if your best
trigger warning to the audience.
Okay,
Again.
no,
I'm like,
it was the
blood,
part
this is
where
I'm sorry,
I
that was a
see.
beautiful chapter about love.
Thank you.
That's what she keeps.
It was the
trying
one
to
where I
say.
ate cum out of my ex-girlfriend's pussy when we had a threesome. She was like, this is too
That
far.
was too much. But
Yeah.
your chapter about love was beautiful.
She said that with serious face. Sir. Yeah, bitch, that was too much.
We don't have a lot of
No,
lines.
for your
but that
friend.
was over the line. Did your parents read this?
not for me.
No, my mom opened 6 pages. She was like, I'm okay.
Do you want them to read it?
My mom, for the chapters that I mentioned her, I let her know what it
Yeah.
was about. I told her she was a dumb bitch with my daddy. I told her like
You were really raw about your family. with her.
oh yeah. Not sure what they'll think about it. They like the stories that I've told, it's real.
I always say, like, I think some family members of mine need to die before I write a book. 'Cause-
Yeah, they do.
Oh shit.
I mean, it's really
The fucked up ones, you gotta go.
Oh no, well the ones that are alive are dead to me. So
Yeah.
But you guys were both very honest about your parents and the situations that they put you in. And I thought you were really respectful. I mean, that's your journey, that's your truth, but it's not easy for anybody, I don't think. Like, I always thought, like, if Ashley wrote a book, like, I wonder, like, what you would write about me and how you would write it. And
She's like,
I
who
would be
said you'd be
excited. Oh, no, I'd be excited to read it.
Can you imagine, like, Raina reads it? She's like, oh, I had no
I-
idea.
Do you ever think
I'm like,
about
I hate this.
Do you ever
bitch.
think about that? I think all the time if you and I read a book about each other, like, what would you write? What would your experience be around
Yeah.
like reading it? And I don't know, it's just hard to like read about yourself.
It
As
is
a
hard to read about yourself because when we were doing the audiobook and I was reading things
Ooh,
back,
That's fun.
I was like, holy shit. The thing that was most interesting to me about reading it back and other people reading it is like, oh, you're still in love with your ex-girlfriend was the response that I was getting. Even when my boyfriend read the chapter where I was like apologizing to her, like, and at the end of that chapter, I'm like, I'm talking to you, right?
That was powerful.
Thank you. It felt good to write. because
Yeah.
I didn't realize I was kind of a fuckboy to my ex-girlfriend because I was like, yeah, I want marriage and family too, but just pushing it to the side and not being intentional. And I talk about her so well, where a lot of this book comes from like pain or overcoming things. Because horrible decisions that. Let me tell you about this decision. Oh my God, there was this person, there was this guy, whatever. She's so celebrated that I think everybody was very confused. Like, well, do you still want her? And what I really took from that was like, damn, every ex isn't bad.
Totally.
Why don't we celebrate the good ones? Like, I'm not going to lie to you. My boyfriend is not my first great guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm flat out. I'm not his
Yeah.
first bad bitch. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that we are doing enough celebration of past experiences.
Yeah, that molded us.
Yeah, like
For the
everything
better.
is a woman going on a date talking about how terrible men have treated her.
Mhm.
What the fuck? So now you're going to accept anything because you're just so happy to have a decent guy? No, like I am like, oh, I had this, I had that. We didn't work out, but like amazing, supported. I really love doing that for her specifically.
Yeah.
And also that doesn't mean that you're still in love with the person. You have feelings for them anymore. I have speak pretty highly about a lot of my exes.
It's a good sign.
I think that's a good thing. The people that I'm with have treated me well. I haven't really been cheated on that much or like
That much
all
is crazy.
that.
I
I
think
have
that
one
much-
boyfriend. I have one person I
Oh,
live with
okay.
that cheat on me a lot. But like I
that
haven't
you
had
found
these-
out about.
That I found out about. I like to think that I kept it tight and right. Okay, I don't.
I
think people
believe
cheat on
you.
me besides him. But I don't want to be with those fucking people. I think positively of them. I
Right.
chose them. I should think positively of them.
That's it.
right.
The more that we start to like make everyone seem bad, friends too. Oh, this person, that it's like, do you know how to pick them? So I try
Yeah,
to watch how
right.
I talk about those before because it is a little bit of a reflection of you. My ex in this book, when I talk about the cheating, how many times could I have left? Like a lot. And so we can only hear so many times like, woe is me, before we need to know that we're accountable for a lot of the things that happen to us sometimes. Not obviously the childhood trauma and some of the assaults and the violent stuff in this book, but I think when it comes to bad relationships, every woman in this room can be like, all right, I could have done XYZ to leave quicker. But we have so much hope. Like, we're such lovers,
Yeah.
we're such loyalists sometimes as women that it really makes you jaded from the reality of having someone good. I have a friend right now who's dating someone who's shitty. She literally called me and said, dude, I think I'm just going to stay with him because I'm 37 and he's not that bad.
But does she want kids?
She does. She's like, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
Meet someone, explore them
Hope
for a
to meet
year.
someone.
Yeah, but like,
yeah.
there's nothing worse. We see it all the time. Women who are
Kids.
like in their 30s, mid 30s, late 30s that want kids. And if that guy is not 100% in, both feet in the door, he's going to break up with you. And then you have to start from scratch it's heartbreaking.
That's how it
Yeah,
feels.
yes and no. I mean, I know there's a story of Ebony K, but I have 3 friends now that have eggs frozen. 2
for sure,
going
yeah.
through IVF, and so I have women right now in my life that are genuinely at a place where they're financially secure, and they're like, well, it would be nice to find someone, but if I don't, I can still be a mother without a guy.
Oh, totally. I just don't like waiting on this guy and then
Yeah,
he
the
breaks
waiting
up
on
with
a
you
guy is-
anyway.
Women are willing to do that. That to me is like the stronger person. Not calling
Yeah,
my
well, you
friend
could
weak,
find a
but-
guy and still end up as a single mom.
But no, my point is, it is very powerful to make the choice to do it alone. I don't think enough people have that oomph to.
Well, then they get the choice to do it with someone and still end up doing it
They
alone.
think it's
Right.
easier.
A lot of them do it alone.
Yeah.
Bad relationships can be easy.
Well, relationships aren't the same as co-parenting.
Mhm.
So to me, like, if we're bringing up the element of having this guy in partnership, I think there are a lot of women that, okay, well, if I can keep my own peace and still enjoy motherhood, I'm going to do that, because a lot of women end up doing motherhood
Doing it all
alone anyways.
anyways,
right.
All of my, and again,
All right.
this isn't from we can talk from the world being a great place and what we all would like it to look like. All of my friends are single mothers. All of them.
Wow.
And half of them don't have any support from the fathers. No financial
Mhm.
support. The daddy don't show up. So I was raised in a single parent household. And I guess you see that in the book. I talk about my viewpoints on not seeing healthy relationships growing up. On the opposite side, she grew up with married parents. So I think that that's why this book also couldn't have been written together.
Married happy, because we know a
we
lot of
have-
married and
Yeah, we have such
Mhm.
different viewpoints on what relationships look like, what dynamics we want in our own relationships, and a
Yeah.
lot of it has to do with how we were raised, how we grew up. Like, I grew up not so money. She grew up with money. I grew up with 2 sisters. She grew up as a single child. I grew up with a white mom. She grew up with a black mom. Like, there's all these different elements that help shape who we are right now, not only in business and in friendship and in romantic partnership, that comes through.
Yeah. Okay, we're just going to take a quick break and then we will get back into it. I'm telling you guys about Nutrafol. I take Nutrafol every single day. I take the women's formula, and this is really what I take for my hair. So I had a period of time where I noticed so much shedding and changes in my hair, and it was really upsetting to see your hair change and your looks change. And I really turned to Nutrafol, and I just have seen such positive results with it. And I take my 4 capsules a day. Again, the women's formula, they have a women's vegan formula, women's balance formula for women 45 plus, and then they have a postpartum formula. And you guys may have heard about Nutrafol's hair growth supplements and wondered, do they actually work? Which is a fair question. I mean, I can speak to it, and I have so many friends that take it too. We all really stand by it and know that it works, but many hair supplements can overpromise and underdeliver. But Nutrafol is different. As the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand, it's trusted by over 1.5 million people and is clinically tested to deliver real results in just 3 to 6 months. So this summer, you don't need to let thinning hair hold you back. With Nutrafol, you are going to see visibly less hair shedding and show up where it matters most. No prescription is needed. It's really easy. You order online, free shipping, automated deliveries. You can subscribe to save up to 20% and enjoy perks. And so this summer, you can stop worrying about your hair and start making memories. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code GGE10. Find out why Nutrafol is the best-selling hair growth supplement brand at Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code GGE10. That is Nutrafol.com, promo code GGE10.
Okay, and it is busy season. Everybody has a million things going on, running around, all these vacations. And if you don't have a lot of time to cook healthy meals at home or go grocery shopping, Hungry Root is the absolute perfect solution for you. So Hungry Root is like a personal nutritionist. They take care of stressful meal planning each week by recommending delicious recipes tailored to your taste, nutrition preferences, and health goals. So using the platform is super easy. You go online and you take a quiz, and they literally ask you every type of question under the sun. Who are you cooking for? How many people? Are there kids? Do you want to do gluten-free? Do you want to do low-fat, high-protein, vegetarian? There's so many parameters. They even ask you what equipment you have at home to cook, so they know they're suggesting like a recipe for you with like rice cookers or things like that ahead of time. And they make it easy to eat high-quality, nutritious food and achieve any diet goals, truly. So go ahead and type in anything, try to stump them, but dairy-free, high-protein, gluten-free, all the things. And planning meals and cooking can be really simple and stress-free through them. So once you talk about your goals, they're going to recommend all kinds of stuff for you. And there's no high fructose corn syrup in anything or artificial sweeteners or preservatives in any of Hungry Root's food, which I absolutely love. And then they give you recipes that you can cook with the ingredients that they send you. And a lot of them can be made in 15 minutes or less. So tons of variety. They have over 15,000 recipes shipped each week. There's so much on there to choose from. And we love Hungry Root. Take advantage of this exclusive offer for a limited time. Get 40% off your first box. Plus, get a free item in every box for life. Go to hungryroot.com/GGE and use the code GGE. That's hungryroot.com/GGE, code GGE to get 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life. hungryroot.com/GGE, code GGE.
Okay, and I am telling you guys about Simply Pop. We are so excited. Simply has launched a new prebiotic soda, Simply Pop, the new juicy soda. There are 5 flavors: pineapple, mango, lime, strawberry, citrus punch, and fruit punch. We love this. I mean, I obviously, like, who doesn't want something that's going to be prebiotic and that's going to taste great, made with real fruit juice? Simply Pop supports gut health, so big on gut health, with 6 grams of prebiotic fiber, no added sugars, sweetened with juices. Monk fruit extract supports immune health with zinc and vitamin C. Simply Pop is flavor that pops. I really love all the flavors, but I'm just like a pineapple, mango kind of tropical flavor. I also love a lime. Any citrus fruit I love, but they all are really delicious. Again, made with real fruit juice. And you pair that with the zinc and the vitamin C, and it's going to support your immune health. You just really can't beat it. So this is all new. You guys might be hearing about it for the first time here today.
Heard it here
And
first.
we really encourage you guys to check it out. You can go to cokeurl.com/simplypop and find out where you can try Simply Pop.
I like that you both have such different experiences and backgrounds, but you're both like the most open sexually people. Like you're happy to just be like raunchy and crazy. Yeah, we are too. We're proud of it.
It started a chapter that reminded me so much of you, where you were just like, I was a horny kid and I don't know what else to say.
That
about it.
Oh my God, literally,
When I
I
started reading that
It's
chapter.
my favorite sentence in the book.
I was like, this is Raina. And you were like, I don't know what to tell you.
I was a horny
just
kid.
humping stuff early on,
I
and my
was.
parents were married, and like, I
And
don't know.
nothing bad happened to me. I just was really horny as a young kid. And
Oh,
I was
when
like,
I
that
said
was
my
me.
uncle didn't fuck me, I just because
You said I didn't have a weird family members fucked me or something.
Well, because that's the thing. As
they think-
hypersexual adults, they assume, oh, that woman was assaulted and now is hypersexual.
I actually saw a comment. We had a very deep conversation about the assault portions of the book on a podcast yesterday that was live. And someone said, can we all like take time to, feel sorry for these women, but also say, does hypersexuality, doesn't it always come from someone who's been assaulted?
somebody said that to you?
No, in the chat. Like, and they weren't being unkind. I get it. They're like, hey, when you see someone that's like super crazy sexual, haven't they had some trauma? And that was exactly why I put in the book. I did have an assault happen when I was 19, 20.
Yeah.
I wanted to fuck at 7. So
I didn't really know that people had that mindset.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing.
That's the thing. So
That's
people
the
want. Well, people
It's
wonder
either
like,
you got
why-
assaulted or you have daddy issues.
People wonder why somebody so young
Yeah.
would have like an entree into the sex world
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. And like, I don't know if I was 7, but I definitely had puberty at like 10.
Oh,
or
by 7, I was
11.
using the shower head.
Oh, you were?
I talk about like hunching my friends, and
Yes.
I talk about humping a teddy bear that I got from my grandma for Christmas. Like, even in terms of just my pussy throbbing at a young age, and ooh, why does it feel like that? Like that, my whole first chapter is about masturbation and trying to figure out what my body is doing. It feels good, but finding out how to pleasure myself and not having to need it from someone else was a whole
what's
thing
crazy
too.
too is like our fans that haven't really experienced orgasm, we find that they masturbate so much later in life.
Yep.
Oh, that's so interesting that they don't discover it. I grew up in a household where sex was there's really positive attitudes about it. My mom bought me a book about my body and puberty when I was super young. Like sex
Same.
was healthy. It was positive. I'm Jewish. That really is like sex has a positive notion in
I did not know
Judaism.
that.
It's not like shame and fear and guilt around sex.
You have to think
Okay.
too. So my dad is Israeli, and I think it is, when you, maybe if anyone's ever had this experience, my first time going to Barcelona, I was a teenager and I went to the nude beach and I was like, what the fuck? Like nothing is weird. Here in the States, nude beaches kind of are associated with sex a little bit, adult play,
Or
not
old people.
or it's not, it's never kids. I saw families at the nude beach. And I remember thinking, this is crazy. But then I realized there's really not a lot of weird feelings about sex, nudity, or comfortability around it when you get out of America, at least European standards. And so in the Middle East, I think if there wasn't too much oppression where you live and you've got some kind of, way to move around, you see that. We don't see it at all.
Yeah, you see it a lot more.
We're like landlocked in this world of, oh my God, it's Bible Belt, it's church.
Can't show a
it's
nipple.
religion. Yes.
It's the same with drinking. Like it's just this like culturally, it's not the same.
Oh yeah, they started drinking at 16. everywhere else.
Exactly. And then they don't have the addictions that we have as prevalent as we do here because it's so forbidden. And
Yep.
But we have like some topics we really need to
Yeah.
discuss with
Let's
you guys.
get to it.
Okay. So we have been really wanting to talk about on the podcast the concept of, I guess you can call it cucking, but just like hearing about somebody's other sexual experiences during intimacy or watching them or just all of it. And we just haven't really discussed it in too much depth. And it's something that you're very much discussing in the book and same and threesomes and all the
Yeah.
things.
And you're
so
both really
I mean,
good.
I don't think I lean into what I've shared so much on the pod with it, but like pretty much all of like my lovers over the last, I would say, decade, outside of my boyfriends, like my actual relationships, my situationships, absolutely love to get videos of me sucking and fucking other guys and have requested to be FaceTimed while I'm with other men.
Mhm.
Or it gets deeper. If there's no video, they want to know how good it was. Well, was it big? How did he fuck you? Like, so a lot of the guys that I have dealt with get open sexually, but they are majority of all of them want that.
You're not offering it. This is organically they're requesting.
They're
it off
requesting
the
it,
menu.
and then the same like, okay, if I can't see you, like say a guy's on the road, and I was like, ooh, you're in Arizona, are you gonna get some pussy? Can you send me pictures? I do the same thing.
You like it too.
I like it
reverse.
too.
Okay.
So it's
I
like,
like
a
the exchange of stories because we normally only share sex stories from a level of with a partner. I got to tell you who this person was. Maybe we're just, sharing deep secrets. Nothing's pleasure based because we're so used to jealousy. So, for example, it actually happened last week. And again, I'm the girl that's dating other women with my boyfriend. He's telling me about a girl that he almost fucked on the way to a flight. He was like, oh my God, I remember I was missing my flight. She was so hot. And he's telling me this whole thing.
This is
And then,
how long ago?
the story that he's saying?
yes.
Old story.
Okay.
And he said,
it didn't just happen. Okay.
yeah, but this moment just happened with us. And he was like, and then I literally thought about flying back. I was sitting in my bed figuring out, how do I get to this pussy? And I'm laughing at it, slightly getting jealous. And I'm like, so then what happened? He's like, oh, like I went back, missed the flight. There was some hot girl in South Africa. He was like, she was a waitress. I was like, bitch, you got to get off tonight. He's like, and I stayed there for 12 hours and we had this crazy sex experience. He didn't say crazy. He said amazing.
Oh.
And I was like, what do you mean it was amazing? So then he starts laughing at me and he's like, damn, I thought I was sure I had a safe space.
Yeah.
And I was like, you do. But I'm enjoying it, feeling jealous at the same time. And I realized in that moment, we don't really talk about how good other partners were in front of each other.
I mean, not everybody wants that. And sometimes you might think you want it, and then you're like, wait, I'm getting kind of jealous.
Wait, you think there's a line? You like want to hear the details, and then it's like, don't tell me it was
and I
amazing.
think I think this is all tied
emotional
into the
connection.
thing
Yeah.
that Mandii and Raina are talking about, which I do as well. But for the most part, normal monogamous, maybe vanilla couples never even talk about that. They never even talk about past people in that way.
I mean, if you're telling me about a previous partner, it better be that I'm so much better than them. I mean, I
we
would get
need
really
that
jealous.
for the ego, but
I would get really jealous.
I don't lie. Don't ask me. I'll let you know if you're top 3, top 5.
But you're honest about that.
But
like,
I want to talk about this with you guys because I think that it is not, I don't want to say norm. I think people listening are like, I could never, like And that's fine. I'm not claiming to be this type of person in my relationship either, but like, do you feel like you really understand where that comes from? Did someone bring it out in you? Like, we just are interested in like the psychology of it all and kind of reframing the way that people think about this, because our nature is like, I don't want to know about that.
Jealousy
I don't
is
want
hot.
You, yeah.
This is a subcategory. Well, that chapter, why not cheat together? And
Yep.
jealousy can be sexy. It is all, to me, a subcategory of submission.
Okay.
Because to me, the jealousy is slightly humiliation. So when my partner and I are away, he may sleep with someone. I'd say maybe once every other month, he may fuck someone else, right?
So you guys separately can fuck other people. It's not always just bringing
We just
someone
spend too
else
much
in.
time together. He doesn't have a chance.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, like if I'm gone for 10 days, I'm like, he might get some pussy.
Okay, got it. Okay.
So we shared an intimate moment where I surprised him by saying, during sex, how was it? And he laughs because he doesn't want to answer. But his first response was, nothing like you. Now, sure, thanks, babe.
Oh, I like that line. That's how I'd be like, oh my God, tell me more.
Like, but I really wanted to feel jealous.
Oh.
I was like, tell me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he starts getting into these nastier, dirtier details. And it feels amazing to hear because it feels taboo, but also you're fucking me, you're mine.
Yeah.
I think that part of it is humiliation.
That's what it is. So I had this happen to me recently. It can also be a bunch of different things, but I had this happen to me recently that a guy that I was with wanted me to, during sex, tell him about somebody else that I'd slept with a couple days prior. And I was like, sure. Why not? I'm here. Let's talk. So I'm like telling him the story about how I met this guy and he wanted to know how.
Wait. While you're fucking?
While we're fucking, he wanted to hear about me fucking another person like a couple days prior. And I was like, you got it.
But
That's
luckily you had.
I had.
That's how, to me, I view it so differently. Like your question was like, why do people maybe not see this as something normal? And I think it's the delusion of how people attach love to sex.
Yeah.
So for me, I've actually had partners feel like I don't care as much because I don't exhibit jealousy,
Interesting.
especially with sex. Like I remember having someone come join me and my ex, and we had her sleep on the floor. We played the little dom roll, and the next morning I had work to do. And she was like, "Hey, can we fuck?" Yeah, I'm not in the mood to fuck. Go fuck him. Like, and so for me, there was never an element like when we would go to the sex club. Once we realized like sometimes we don't have the same type. Well, if I want to be with a woman tonight, I'm not going to force you to fuck someone that you're not attracted to. Go find your own, and I'll meet you at the end of the night. But I think it's also the relationship that I have with casual sex that allows me to just be like, I can talk about someone having sex with someone the same way I'd be like, so how was that concert last night? I didn't go, but it's something that you enjoy. I know sex is something you could have fun with. I don't attach the love, the intimacy, the feelings that I think a lot of people attach to sex. So the jealousy feeling, the reason why some people may not feel comfortable talking about it is because so many people attribute to you having sex with someone else. Now maybe you're thinking about them. Oh, you love them. Oh, it's something that meant
But we
something.
also know, and by we, I mean general public that maybe thinks this is terrible. I feel like people also know love doesn't equal sex because if you ask a woman, if you got cheated on, could you handle it? Maybe if it was a trip to Vegas and he was drunk or XYZ, like people do kind of understand that. But maybe they don't want it for themselves because it takes so much security. Like, I think talking through what those feelings are like is the scariest part.
Well, it depends on who the primary partner is, right?
It does.
The person I'm talking about, I wasn't in a serious
Right.
relationship with. So, like, I understand what you're saying, which is that, like, jealousy can be a way to communicate. I care about you. I feel, like, uncomfortable when you're with another person. And if the primary partner, the person I was with previously, I don't care about him that much. So I'm fine to sleep with other people. I think for him, he liked that, like, someone else wants his toy, that his toy is hot, and other people want to play with her. But, like, that's not somebody I'm in love with. And so this
but
dynamic,
is that why you can play it out?
Well, that's
But
my main question for Mandii.
that's why I can play it out in that scenario.
If you're in love with somebody, is it still the same?
I was
Do you always
in love
separate
with
the
my
two?
ex, and he cheated on me. I wasn't mad that he was fucking other bitches towards the end of our relationship, especially when we were touring, because he would make me feel like bad for being tired and not cooking anymore or always being gone. And so it's like, okay, do you want a bitch while I'm gone? Like I was never
You're
even
always able to
jealous
do
or
it.
upset that
Okay.
he fucked other bitches. I was mad that you lied
That he
about it, and now
lied.
2 bitches is calling my phone, questioning my goddamn. Literally, I had 2 women come to me, woman to woman, about a guy that I was with for 3 years. One was with him for like 3 months, the other 6 months, and they were in love with him and had the nerve to come and check or question what my relationship really was with this man, because which you hear in the book, and it's me having a full circle moment. I talk about, do married men really treat you better, and how I used to be a side chick, right? And how I thought that I had a bigger bond with these men because they were honest with me. And they lied to their wives. They were honest with me. That means we had a closer relationship. Dummy. So then one of the girls literally come to me and is like, well, I knew about everybody. He was open with me. I knew about you. I knew about the other girl. I knew even the other girl that hit my phone. So she was like, well, he was honest with me. He was lying to you. So I think our connection had to be a little stronger. Maybe he felt safer with me. And I was like,
He didn't have to lie to you because he
She
doesn't
said
care
this to
about
my
you.
face. And do you want to know like how goofy I thought she was? I ordered us shots at the end. We did a shot. And I was like, all right, well, we both got by a fuck nigga.
I learned something
and there
today.
we go. No,
Right?
literally, I was.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was like, okay, here we go. But for me, it was never that I felt anyway that he had sex with someone else because I detached. There was women in the sex club. They'd come up and give me a hug. Hey, nice to meet you. Bitch, you don't remember I ate your pussy last week? Wouldn't remember them. So like I have this detachment with sex that I believe other people do too.
Yeah, but you wanted somebody to be honest with you.
Just be honest. Bro, I'm letting you
those
fuck
aren't the
other
same
women
thing.
with me, without me. We done fucked half my friends on game nights. Why can't you be honest?
That-
Well,
No
to
more
me, it was a
Uno.
lie.
Do you think people are too afraid to open up that Pandora's box kind of because they're like, if I let you do a thing, then you're
Yes.
gonna start lying to me about doing other things?
The fact that they lied, all my homeboys would be like, that motherfucker was stupid. He had everything.
Literally
and still felt like
everything.
he had to lie.
You know what though? This is the thing. So someone asked us like lessons taught, and I was like, I think the number one thing I tried to teach is that open relationships are really hard. Like how much communication there is. We've had so much discussion recently about Neo on our podcast because he has 4 girlfriends. And
I meant to talk about
The
some of the
rapper.
snack.
And
Yeah,
so
we talked about
Mandii
it.
was saying to me, well, like, how can you be someone that's non-monogamous and not celebrate this and think this is weird? And I'm like, because I just don't believe it. I really believe when people are truly non-monogamous, they have the language. We've seen it for years. I don't think just someone that, and this is not Neo, I don't know him. I think what's happening now is open relationships are so talked about. Someone that cheats a lot or likes to fuck a lot, I'm polyamorous. Are you? Like,
Well,
do you
those
know-
are very different things to me. Somebody that enjoys cheating and enjoys getting away with something.
or just knows how to lie. Just because you like
Yes.
to fuck a lot of people doesn't mean that you're right for this relationship.
Right.
Totally.
And I think I have seen it go in such bad ways where I've
Yeah.
had really good times with it. I mean, especially my ex-girlfriend and I, like, we talk about that, calling each other. Oh my God, tell me about last night if we slept with someone else. So I know how to do this well. I know what's effective. I know where I've fucked up. And you need to meet someone in that same place, right? Someone that's open, honest, someone that can do that. It's tough because sometimes you're almost trying to teach an old dog new tricks. A lot of these men have been fucking and lying for years. They don't know what to do when
When
they
you
meet a woman that's like,
You
yeah,
can
tell
do this,
me.
but just be honest.
And you know why they don't know what to do?
Yeah.
We give fake safe spaces. Oh yeah, tell me. Tell me. No, I want to know. I'm not going to say anything. And it's like, then you hold it against someone. Friends do this too. Giving a safe space. And then maybe you share a secret. What happens generally when people are feeling safe spaces in these scenarios, I think women say it's okay. And then they bring it up later and hold it against you. So we kind of, not saying you did that.
Oh, I didn't. 'Cause I didn't
No.
care.
I'm saying I think this is why men are very scared to lie.
Open relationships and cheating are so different. Like that's not the same thing. You were being lied to. He was pursuing relationships.
Yeah,
with
and
other
and
people.
there were times where he wanted me to be honest, and I was like, "You really want me to be honest?" Okay, because we broke up like 13 times, and sorry, I didn't cry every time he broke up with me. I went to my Rolodex and got somebody that ain't going nowhere. We all got that too. We all have guys from the past that once a relationship ends. Okay, let me see what he got. As long as he ain't got a girlfriend, and maybe even if he got a girlfriend, I'm still gonna see if I can hit. So there was one guy that is he's very lit, very well off. And so my ex would ask, oh, who did you go see? This person. And he became the person towards the last 5 breakups. Yep, saw him again. Uh-huh. And now we have to watch him on TV. You're bad. Like, now you know.
I love that.
Now you know. Sorry, but this is him. And so
You're making me think. I just called someone. He's a film director that I slept with, but we've been sleeping with each other on and off for a few years. When you said you can call anytime, I called him to recommend him to someone. He answered the phone like, I knew you missed me. I was like, what?
That is so funny. You're like, this is a work
It's actually
call.
the opposite.
I am so sorry. This is my friend Michelle.
Trying to pawn you off.
Bro. But I realized we were that person for each other for a long time. And there's always going to be someone. Always.
Every woman has somebody. That y'all's audience is sitting right now like, yep, John, Kevin, Joe. Like,
Not all the white names.
oh, of course.
What's our five?
Tyler,
Jamal.
See,
What?
we're not doing that. We-
Darius.
You know, all
You
of
fucked
that.
a Darius before?
I actually had a crush on a guy named Darius growing up to where I made his name my password for MySpace.
Damn.
Darius01.
That is so funny.
I know. I
mean,
literally.
I wonder if anyone else has that story.
I-
Your crush
there-
was your past.
Have you fucked a Trey? I fucked a Trey. I'm trying to think. Damn, why the hell?
Do you keep a list of how many people you slept with?
It's so funny. She tried to keep a list and she tried to go through it. And I said, oh, bitch, you forgot this name. You forgot this name. I started remembering niggas she fucked. She said, oh my God, I did.
Oh, this is one of my favorite stories. So the story about the first pussy I ever ate was
Love
a
this
girl.
story.
I love that story too.
Yeah.
So she takes me to this guy's house that she's sleeping with. This story is told in 2007, maybe? No. 2009, sorry.
I was about to say, not us talking about
Underage.
sex.
No.
Jesus.
I was a year after
Get
high
your
school,
ass
so maybe I
above
was 19.
18, please.
I couldn't get in the
19,
club.
we got the craziest stuff happened.
I
Oh,
know.
19 was awful.
19 was wild.
It's a
So-
wild time.
First pussy I ever ate too.
Oh my God. Pussy twins. So 2009, I was 19. And this girl brings me to this guy's house and we did a threesome. So honestly, we came after the club 3 a.m. and we left after the sex. Years later, she and I are talking. She's holding her baby. And I'm like, oh my God, girl, I got to read you this list from back in the day. She says, add Q on there. I'm like, who the fuck is Q? She's like, my baby daddy. I'm like, I didn't fuck him. And I'm taking real offense to this, thinking she thinks I fucked her behind her back. She's like, yes, you did with me.
That night?
Yes.
No.
He had dreads. Now he don't. I don't know. That was him. So I'm like, you're kidding me. That was not cute. So she's like,
Stop it.
Bro, holding the baby. Babe, tell me how Weezy didn't know it was you. But that, bro, they were just fuck buddies back then. And he's dying laughing. He's like, yo, he's like, I had a feeling you didn't know it was me. He's like, because the last time I saw you, you were just super chill. And I'm like, damn.
Oh, yeah. I remember the whole body from Miami underage. I had to sit at the end of the bed because
I forgot.
we were scared. It was a guy from the club.
You were there?
I sat at the end
You
of the
were
bed. and
in
just
the
looked other
room.
way.
I was scared he was going to kill me.
I was in the room. Bro, we were underage in the club. Sorry to that guy.
Oh my God.
But we had fake IDs. So we meet these guys in the club. We go back to the hotel room and she's like, bro, you can't leave me. And I said, but she was like, you can't watch. So I just sat at the end of the bed while they fucked.
Yeah.
And it wasn't sexual. You were just there for like.
Oh, I was there for safety.
terrified.
This happened to me once.
I was there for safety.
I
She didn't want me to watch. So I just,
I did
looked,
this.
I watched the
Not
wall.
the bouncing.
Are we dumb?
I was just, they were fucking behind me.
I can't imagine the situation I put her in when I thought about it today. I'm like, so you could have just killed both of us?
Yeah.
Well, you could have jumped in. Like, who
Oh
were
no,
you
I think
to?
I was. She knew I was.
I love that you weren't even on the cuck chair. You were like, I'm on the bed.
I was on the bed.
I'm here for the ride.
I think it was a cheap room. I don't think there was.
There
anywhere
wasn't
else
a
to
chair.
sit.
They
There
didn't
might
have
have
chairs.
been.
Right. There's no
That's why
chaise
you're
lounge.
Bro, it was
It was one of
an
them old
end of a
hotels in
story.
Miami.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy how like when you start to think back of situations, not only would I not have fucked that guy, I would have never went to that room.
No,
what?
The fact that we're all alive.
Alive
Like I'll
is
like
a blessing.
if I start thinking
can't
too
believe it.
deeply, I will like shudder.
No,
Like
let's
those
not-
nights where you're like, how did we survive it?
I know.
My homegirl Jazz is the most wildest bitch ever. I remember going to Philly one night and literally these guys drove by, music was loud. She said, let's get in the car with them
Yes,
and go
like,
with them.
let's get in the
And we
car.
literally hopped in cars of random
Totally.
strangers.
I would
Always.
get in cars with drug dealers
Bro,
to drive
same.
around
That
the
doesn't
block.
count. They
Same.
tell you
Yes.
something.
No,
You don't know what they're gonna do to you?
now?
Well, I
I'm
do
not
that
gonna
now.
lie.
I'm 2 feet tall. What am I gonna do?
Well,
to
for the
fight
I'm
back?
not
pickup,
going on
I
a
gotta
run
get
with
in the
anyone.
car.
No.
Also, when the drug dealer tells you to get in the car because you got to pick up whatever it is, you're like, oh my God.
Oh no, not anymore.
I
I'm not
used
doing
to-
a run
You're
with
like, I'm such a
anybody.
baddie.
I used to all the time. I was 22, driving around New York to buy drugs in people's strangers' cars.
It's crazy.
No, I deadass was thinking just about how I put myself in crazy situations, whether it be to have fun, go to an after party. It's just
one night stands with
Yes.
people you meet online. Like to me, and not to make this morbid, but there's so many stories that keep coming out of like girls being killed by people from like, first off, Craigslist killer was a thing too. Like, so to know that people were like meeting people for sex off of back pages.
Hold on, wait.
Craigslist, like without pictures and shit.
Have you guys ever had a story where you're like, oh my God, I have to get out of here. He's going to kill me? Have you ever had someone that
I mean,
bad?
I've put myself in situations that I shouldn't have put myself
Absolutely.
in. And
I've
I'm
absolutely
thrilled that I'm okay.
like a feeling. You know-
Killing,
kill
I've never
me.
felt like killed, but a few times, I mean, this is like dark, where I was like, I think I was going to get like assaulted.
Oh,
I
yes,
have like one specific thing. It makes me like emotional to talk about, where I was like, the way I got myself out of there, like, you know, you just, you have that feeling.
Were you in
It's-
New York?
One happened in Atlanta and one happened when I was like in Delaware. They're both like washing over me. And you're like, something bad is about to happen.
Mhm.
And I think all women have intuition. Some women wouldn't feel comfortable running out of a house. One time in Atlanta, this guy went in the bathroom. It had started to escalate in a way I didn't feel safe. And when I tell you I ran out, left things, like ran out of the house and like figured out how to get home. And you just have a feeling.
That story you're telling right now, do you know what it makes me think of? It's the girl that had sex with someone she didn't want to. They tell that story the next day because they didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
We've been
Yeah.
talking a lot about yeses and nos. Saying no is really hard. Like, it just is.
for
like,
women, because I think we're taught to placate, diffuse the situation.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
to
to,
stress
to,
them
to
out.
not make the male ego more fragile
Yeah.
than it really is.
Yeah.
So we have to protect his ego.
I'm
without
already
protecting
here.
ourselves.
I'm here. I'm at his apartment. Like,
And
so
like,
now,
how do I get out?
Yeah, and some people think, well, I owe somebody sex because I'm here and I don't know how to say no. I'm sitting on his bed, and like, feel free to get up.
He paid
and get the fuck out of
$250
there.
for dinner.
Totally.
Like, there's a guilt
Yes.
trip that especially younger girls go through where they feel like, oh, he's expecting it. Oh, I kind of owe it to him. Oh, or maybe even, and we talk about this too. We've been shared this notion that if you have sex with a guy, he's gonna like you more.
Mhm.
So then there's that element of it where it's like, okay, well, if I put this thing on him, because unfortunately too, women believe they have the tightest, wettest pussy in the world and they're gonna be the exception and make this man fall in love. And it's just like all of these things are still just for him.
Yeah, if you don't want to,
No,
just don't. That's
just
not a hot
don't.
take. But like, I think that sometimes you're in a situation when you're younger and you're like, it's easier to just do it, and I'll have sex for 15 minutes, and then I don't have to have the conversation.
I
that's
hate that we're
uncomfortable.
acting like nobody can be that girl because no one wants to admit they're not confident enough to say no. But at the end of the day, think about how many times a friend wants you to go somewhere and you really are enjoying your bed, but you go and you're like, damn, I just.
I
wanted
think
to say no.
the thing that me and my friends are working through now are questioning if we said yes because we've had so many blackout nights. So the way we would party and drink, and maybe this guy, yeah, I wanted to end the night with him. Like, I've had times where it was with guys that I dealt with, and I would have to ask them the next morning if we had
Same.
sex.
Same.
And so there's this thing now with me and my best friend. Well, and I have 11 best friends, but a lot of us are having the conversations about, damn, we can't do the blackout shit anymore. Like, do you know how much sex that we've had that we don't remember? How healthy is that? Like, one of my friends just went back on a date with someone from the past. And I was like, okay, well, was it that good? Because, bitch, that was a toxic ass thing. And she was like, every time we had sex, we were drunk. I don't remember if it was good or not. So even those conversations as adults, it's like, there's the consenting part, but then there's like the, damn, there's the yeses we don't remember either, which makes us question if it was even a yes.
Right. And you really got to question someone if you know how. I don't get drunk like this anymore, but I used to. You fucked me.
Oh, God.
And we've also had sex where both parties are blacked out and you both don't remember this. But have
Yep.
you guys ever had situations where you were so drunk and you wanted to have sex and they like denied you because you were too drunk? That's when you're like, I should look into this.
What the fuck?
Like, where it's a good guy that's like, I am not fucking you like this, and you get mad. You're like, am I?
This
what
happened
a
to me
problem?
on my boyfriend's birthday last week on a cruise. So the
happened to you last
motion
week?
and alcohol just.
Yes.
But I got in the bed and I put on this cute outfit and I was.
And he went to sex with you.
I just remember he said, "Baby, you don't feel good," and I was like,
You don't feel good.
"That means you don't look right." Like, so the next day I was like, "What happened?" He was like, "You didn't know, but I'll take it now." I don't know
Now
what.
I'll take it the next
Have you
Do
been
you remember
denied for being
Superbad?
too drunk?
Definitely.
It's so embarrassing.
Definitely.
Wait, what about Superbad?
Super bad when she came out. I got a little something for you.
Yeah.
I think that's what I did. Under, yeah. Oh yeah, I really think he
He's
jerked
like,
off.
I'm not gonna.
No,
enjoy
you
this.
trip. They're like, not tonight.
You
Okay.
give Nick.
We want to wrap up with you guys, but we want to end on like, an empowering note and like
Ooh,
final
empowering.
messages. I mean, this book is really about like finding your power and
Yes.
realizing. Can I just say, one of my favorite parts is this patriarchal bullshit.
Thank
that
you,
is
matriarchal
you do a
response.
Thank
response,
you.
and it's basically at the beginning of every chapter. There's like a quote or something someone said, some man, and then
Yep.
you balance it with something that a woman said. That's the reply to it, and I just think we should do that in our daily lives. And so I just think that's like a really empowering.
You know how
message.
that
Thank you.
happened? There was a chapter where I started talking about the patriarchy, and we were on a Zoom with our co-author. And it was like, okay, well, every story kind of is fucked up from the patriarchy. And I think maybe it was you or Tempest, and it was like, let's bring up the patriarchy every time
Ugh, love
in
it.
every chapter. Because I only thought it was specific to the love chapter. I was specifically talking about get married, do this, XYZ. But no, every element of what we were talking about, our trauma, the things we thought we should be doing.
Which,
was-
by the way, I found all the quotes, and it took so long to find ones that matched each story. And then legally, oh boy, we had to change a lot of,
Oh.
like, we had to, like, legally, if anyone's writing a book, adding quotes in it makes the process a lot longer. Like, we have a whole works cited page, and we had to legally find the proof that these people said this where it
Right.
was.
For
and-
example,
and it became
in the
very
assault
lengthy.
chapter, a very famous quote we all know, Donald J.
grab 'em
Trump.
by the pussy. Yeah.
Grab them by the pussy, you can do anything to them. Like,
But then
those types of things.
The matriarchal reply is so important too, because like
Yes.
I like a balancing response. Like, here's this shitty thing, but here is like something that should make you feel better about the world too.
And
Like,
so we get quotes from very powerful women. I think we even have two from Bell Hooks, Audre Lorde, Tracy Ellis Ross.
I brought up Sarah Jessica Parker twice, and that to me was the funniest shit. I was like, how much can I love Carrie? Not Sarah Jessica Parker, excuse me. Carrie.
Well, she formed our lives. Can
Yeah.
we give an example? Give
Yeah.
an example of like your favorite patriarchal bullshit and
For
a
me,
matriarchal
it
reply.
probably comes from my abortion chapter.
Okay.
I'm 34 and don't want kids ever. I don't want to be a mother. And so I think my quote probably came from like Sigmund Freud or something like that. Or it came from some man that believes that a woman's purpose is to
mhm.
bring life into this earth. And if not, she's a useless whore. And then just the power in, and I think Tracy Ellis Ross is my quote for that.
Okay.
Like, I'm a woman
she-
who
yeah.
hasn't chosen to be a mother, and I'm proud and I'm standing in that decision. That's been a common question with her recently. So that was my probably most favorite one, because we're defined as women by becoming wives or becoming moms. I don't want to be either. And so it's been very important for me to define what legacy means to me. This book is my legacy now.
Yeah.
So I'll pull the Donald Trump one that we know, and this was the chapter about sexual assault, and his quote is, "I'm automatically attracted to beautiful women. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. Just kiss. I don't even wait. When you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Grab them by the pussy. You can do anything." Donald Trump, 45th and 47th president. And then this one was, I'm glad I was able to find it, because the matriarchal reply is, "Men are afraid that women will laugh at them. Women are afraid that men will kill them." And that's Margaret Atwood. Ugh, it just, they all just hit
Felt that in
me.
my
But
body.
that was like one of the most.
That was
like-
actually the one that I was going to say was my favorite.
Mhm.
It was actually the only quote in the book besides the Donald Trump one that I really knew. Like,
right. Yes,
I've heard that
quote.
so many times, "We're scared men will kill you." Like, and what's interesting is reading the audiobook, I could not really hear much from the engineer, but that was one of the only, besides laughing, that was the time I heard him go, "Ooh."
Right.
Well,
Oof.
you really think about, I forget who said it or what the exact quote is, but like women are, like straight women are the only people that actively pursue
That
our
they're-
only natural born predators.
Yep.
Our enemy.
Like,
Yep, literally.
isn't that fascinating? And like, also, by the way,
Yeah.
the people that put the parameters around how we should look, how we should have sex, what boundaries we're supposed to have, who owns us, how we can relate to money. I mean, women didn't set any of those systems up.
And I do want to make it clear too. In each chapter, we talk about, yes, all of the traumas, the assaults, the heartbreaks, but we both are seeking these romantic partnerships or finding love with men. So it's not a male bashing book
That's
either.
how
Let's
we
be-
feel.
Yeah, like,
I'm
and I think it's
with a
it-
man, unfortunately.
Yeah,
No, I'm kidding.
but
the
we still own
patriarchy-
it. Like, I talk about actually going through like a phase where I realized like I've never felt safe. I talk about in my sexual assault chapter as well. Like, I've only been with Black men. I only want to date Black men. I was upset that all of my assaults happened with Black men.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wow.
it made me upset. Like,
Yep.
why would you do that? And
Yep.
I'm having to work through that, and having this trauma associated to the exact thing that I want.
But that's the thing too. With sexual assault, it's not black and white. I didn't even mean that to sound like that. It's literally not.
But it's interesting because you think like, okay, if you get bit by a dog, like you have so many people that are like, oh, I don't like animals. I got bit by a dog as a kid. If you get bit by a dog, you're never going to go near a dog again. Whereas straight women,
Jeez, dude, that's so true.
you have to continue to pursue these people that hurt you. And there's great men in the world. And I have great relationships with men. We all do. And I've only dated men. I have great father, brother, men in my life. But yeah, like they are
It's
the predator.
crazy.
And
Yeah.
this doesn't apply to them. And
Yeah.
those men want men to be better because they're giving them a bad fucking name.
Yeah.
Even
We
the
think
fun,
about that with
sexy-
white women too.
Yes. Like
Yeah.
the sexual assault stories, heartbreak, pain is really not like exclusive to color. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know, single motherhood, all of it. I think what is also interesting, like the love chapter, for example, is a really sweet, a fun chapter.
I love it so much.
That's actually my favorite.
No, it was my favorite. I mean, and I'm like in love and it resonated and
Like, finally,
Let me
fuck.
tell you how happy I am. When we first started this book, I was still with my ex. So my chapters changed throughout the process of writing this book. We broke up, and the love I thought I was going to put in this book grew into hate and progression and healing and all these things. And I was
Wow.
like, I'm so glad I didn't immortalize.
Oh, did you
it.
see my preface for the
Yeah.
chapter? Just in case we break up. Oh, when he saw the hard copy of the book. Oh, actually, let me read it. So
because you were
he's
like,
only
I had
read
to
the
ask
chapter.
myself.
We see like a lot of comedy specials, and I see people like dedicate a lot to somebody. They Ali Wong's
Ali
special
Wong,
was
yeah.
all about her husband, and they were
And
what,
they're divorced
divorced
now?
by the time it came out. You have to just remember, there's like no shame in it. People break up, but like, we've seen a lot of people create a lot of art around somebody.
It's
and
very Carrie, where
It
they
is-
did the Vogue and then they broke up and she had to be the last single girl and they
Shit.
did the bridal and then they had to be like,
I
they
mean,
did
oh,
not
it
get
does
married.
work for people. Adele and Taylor Swift, it's worked for them. They've
But no,
made
but when-
whole albums
Right.
around guys.
No, they've made it around breaking up. Their pain has worked for them, but
Yeah.
memorializing love and then being shit on is
yes,
our scariest thing. So I sent him the chapter before it was in print. He gets the copy of the book. So this is what it says. I have thought long and hard about whether I should include the current part of my life. Spoiler alert, your girl found love. My anxious thoughts. Oh my God, what if we break up? What if this book gets published and it doesn't work out? Here's the fucking reality. Who cares?
Yep.
Granted, I could have skipped it in fear of something going wrong, but it's like, that's when my friend Liz Goldwyn told us future fucking is real.
Mhm.
Fuck it. Who gives a fuck if Ali Wong broke up with the husband? That was the moment that she needed to dedicate
Totally.
because he probably supported her through the
I don't
comedy
think she
special.
and
ever-
then
she
she
doesn't
wrote
regret
a whole
it.
other special about it. I mean,
Oh, I know
it's
that's.
just-
I love
always
that.
think about this moment where Ashley and I had this live show. This guy that I was seeing, I didn't know if he was coming or not. We were about to walk on stage, and I was like, I'm like panicking. I don't know if he's gonna be here or not. I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna say. And she was like, whatever happens, that's what we'll say. If he doesn't show up, we're gonna talk about that. And it's just
That's a
that's the
good-
gift of like having a podcast and comedy and all this. It's like you just turn it into art.
Yep.
Fortunately, I guess.
It's
Yeah.
the response that we're scared of.
Mhm.
I'm not truly, it's the embarrassment.
The
because-
embarrassment, but you like that.
Go ahead, bitch. When I say you,
Oh,
y'all
God.
both hit it.
No. My
Y'all,
favorite
this
part
is why y'all
was when it got tense and I said, she wrote this part.
y'all did that.
You know, Raina, in all honesty,
That's your kink.
Mandii and Alex talks about this time with Mandii and I, how we argued so bad. He jumped up. He thought he was going to have to break us up from a fight.
And then we got into laughing. Right
And he
after
was
into
like,
the
I
podcast.
used to think you were the best actress as a fan of the show. But then I realized you guys just like, oh, whatever. Not everyone can argue like that. And so I think we've made people more uncomfortable with
Oh,
our
absolutely.
shit than each other.
Then
you are.
yeah,
Than you
absolutely.
are.
Oh,
Yeah,
we've had
yeah.
moments on tour. Fuck you.
And wait, in front of her friends, my friends, the staff, everyone.
And then we'd be like, yes, bitch.
And then we go out on stage and we twerking. Hey y'all.
People have to come back around. They're like, okay, I think it's fine. I think they're friends.
Oh my God. We
This is the
were,
dynamic.
I was irritated with Mandii for something. We were in Orlando and my friends were helping. clip something
Orlando.
together.
That's where you fucked in the green room.
Oh yeah.
Plaza?
Yes.
Yeah, Mandii started saying, fuck you, you're just talking shit to me because your friends are here. Blah, blah, blah. So one of my friends, very like, I would describe him as a Brooklyn-y white guy, very stringy, long hair, very like, you know. He looks at me and he goes, dude, this is fucking intense.
The two of you.
Yeah. God damn it.
Oh, it was loud.
Do you guys have you had
Security was scared.
this? You don't have to answer this if it's too personal. Have you almost broken up?
Oh, so many times.
I
Every
thought you
year.
guys ended the podcast. You announced ending the
First
podcast.
off, that was marketing.
But
I did
Rollout.
not want to do that.
Rollout.
that was
she
a-
did.
because
that was a
rollout.
bit?
That was
real?
rollout.
So you
That
know
was
what?
it.
I didn't
Oh
want
yeah,
the
I was
bit.
like they broke up finally.
I could,
All of our friends was like, we saw this.
Yeah,
coming.
everybody-
No, bitch.
We were like,
this is a
okay,
lie.
finally.
I didn't like that
Finally.
someone wrote me. I was like, I'm sure you feel free. I was like, oh, no. But here's why I didn't want to
And
do
was
it.
a rollout. I was here for it.
People in a time that's very sensitive.
You guys call her daddy to people. You got that's crazy.
Bitch, but they really
They
hate each
really
other.
broke up.
I was scared
I
of
love
the
it.
I didn't
think
text
pieces
you.
of how people
I didn't
would
give a
make
fuck.
me feel. Would they pull an old clip of like one of us being mean to the other?
I was
and
ready.
I just, I can't do that. Like, I don't do well with outside noise when I'm trying to improve
Yep.
something internal. In my relationship with Mandii, I want it to be great every day. Today's a great day.
It seems
you
like
guys
It
have-
was.
you
We've
did
been
this
riding
book
together.
together.
We've
Yeah,
been
you guys
planning
are
our
so
tour.
you guys are so stupid. You're friends.
You guys
Like
are
we laughed
bonded.
with each other today. We rode here. It was
Do
an
you
hour
guys
to
love
get
each
here.
other?
What are you guys saying?
Let me tell you guys where to get
You
the
guys
book.
don't know anything.
You guys
know.
can get the book wherever you purchase.
Yeah, we do
because
have to
your
wrap this
journey is powerful, just like ours. You've gone through things, whether you agree with me and maybe see yourself
Next time we
in
get in
me
a
or you
fight,
see yourself
Ashley
in
and Raina.
Weezy. We
We
represent
need you.
women of all walks.
Mandy's
of
like,
life.
read my chapters. Don't read Reese's. My chapters are 1, 3, 5.
Weezy is my trauma. What the fuck? Dude, no lie. Ooh, we should do a celebrity therapy session and we'll keep bringing in other podcasters to help break us down.
Wait, I like that idea.
I'm down.
I love this.
You guys
Oh yeah,
remind me
you
of a
couldn't even
reality
take comments.
show.
We're not doing this. We're not.
What?
Oh, I can talk about my feelings easily. Like
can?
you asked me that question, I don't care. I don't care
Oh.
if your answer is no.
You
Of course
guys have
I
a
love Mandy.
refreshing.
Do I like her
relationship.
right? Like now? Yes. Do I like her every day?
Will she like me tomorrow? Maybe not.
No, that's the true thing. But
That's the true thing about a lot of
I've known
friendships.
Mandy
Everyone.
since I was 15 years old.
Right. And I didn't know that till I read the book.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't know either.
That part of our relationship maybe shaped some of the ways that like I get over things. Like a lot of my friends have made comments to me like, I couldn't work with someone that said that to me or did that. And you probably felt the same or had the same. And I'm like, yeah, but our moments of anger are very ugly. And it's because we don't have friendship there. But I don't really take those moments of anger as I can never do this again. Sometimes it's hard, but what happens in friendship and in romantic partnership, your moments of anger aren't that bad because you're trying to keep this love going the whole time. Whereas we don't have that blinder. We're just like,
There's no
"Fuck you,
love here. I
bitch."
can't be clear enough.
You guys, I don't believe
I
you.
don't like the
think you
word
each
love.
other.
I'm dealing with that right now.
Okay.
Like I respect this relationship and
Yeah.
I know that there's ups and downs. So
Yeah.
there's an absolute level of respect there, which in reality you can love someone and not respect them. And
Mhm.
we see that in
And vice
relationships all the
versa.
time.
Yeah.
So I'll say like there's a level of respect here and we have a baby that we are raising and growing and
Mhm.
rebranding and
That's
You
the
guys are,
hardest
you
part.
guys
you
are
know.
co-parenting is what's the
that's
relationship.
literally what we're having.
That is exactly actually your relationship.
This is the only kid. All of my businesses will be my baby.
All right, well, tell people where they can find the book.
Wherever the
It's
fuck y'all read
everywhere
books.
you buy books.
Amazon. We also have been urging to support local,
Yes.
woman-owned,
Let's do that.
queer-owned, Black-owned bookstores.
Which
Yeah.
ones do you like?
There's Two Sisters Cafe in Atlanta. We're going to be doing Uncle Bobby's in Philly.
There's Mahogany in DC.
Mahogany in DC.
Oh, but the
Love
most exciting thing about ordering now, though, so maybe if an easy order for you is Amazon, fuck it. We know they're terrible people. But
Girl,
we have a
shut up.
masterclass we put out.
Yeah.
So we
guys
know
did
that a
it?
lot of people don't like to pre-order because you're like, fuck it, I'll just get it when it's there. So we put out a masterclass so that you can actually learn all the things that we will talk about in the book.
Okay.
So in the pain section, you read
Yeah.
about BDSM.
I
Maybe
go to a dungeon. So the dungeon that I explained, it is available until July 1st. So if you
Okay.
ordered the book within this first week of its release, then literally just upload your receipt. There's a
Okay.
form on our Instagram page
Okay.
and you get the masterclass with it, which
Oh, yeah.
will be dope because by then you'll have the book in your hand. There's a whole chapter about my experience at the dungeon. I'm in the dungeon in the masterclass.
Fuck yeah.
Ooh.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
so they can listen to your podcast, Decisions. If you
Every
guys want to
Monday.
listen to their last episode with us, it is September 20th, 2021. It's called Inside the Sex Club. Get the book, listen to the
Damn,
podcast.
that was the last time?
Yeah.
Thank you guys for being here. We love
And then
you so
also
much.
we're bringing the
Yeah,
book
whatever.
from the pages to the stages.
Oh, and you're on
So
tour all summer.
NHB tour
Yes.
from July to September,
Ah,
21
We
cities.
also have breast milk.
What's the website?
And one day, MSG. will all be-
NHBtour.com. And then in 2026, you can see the four of us live at MSG.
Oh, yes.
Damn date not announced
Bro,
just yet.
that's
but
just gonna be total United Nations. It's gonna be
I love it.
so much fun. Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, guys, and you know where to find us.
guys.
Girlsgottaeat.com, Girls Gotta Eat podcast on Instagram and TikTok. I'm Ash Hess. Raina is Raina.Greenberg. Subscribe on YouTube. Share this episode with a friend. Get the book. And we just want to let you guys know there's not going to be a snack this Thursday or Monday. We're taking a little time off this summer. So soak this episode up. Listen twice. Listen back to an old ones. And we'll miss you. We always miss you guys.
We do miss you guys.
Yeah.
Have a good week, guys.
Bye.